Well, guys, we want to tell you, we appreciate all the shares. We appreciate all the ratings and reviews and comments. Hit 5 stars on us on iTunes.
Make fun of Bryan's jeans.
They're not that short, really. They're scooting up.
Still something to make fun of.
YouTube's been a good place, too. We've got a lot of people watching on YouTube and checking them out, so we appreciate the reviews there, too, guys.
Doesn't seem like a great place to venture into, but...
It's not good.
Doesn't seem great. Doesn't seem great.
Place you want to stay out of for sure.
Yeah, doesn't seem like a fun spot.
I was looking at a video earlier. I sent it to you guys. I don't know if you got to see it yet. With a lady opinion on the whole gym costume thing. I thought that was pretty wild.
She was opinionated on women's gym costumes or men's?
Yeah, she was opinionated on women going into the gym with the current state of workout gear that is out there.
Yeah, gyms don't have a standard.
And she was like, "Why?" She was like, "Why do you need that?" And she's like, "We get all these people that like record their workouts, and it's always some like booty workout, and they're like waiting until the guy comes in and like looks over, and then they're clipping that."
That's some women's job. If you get enough people to watch that, you don't have to work. You just have to wear next to nothing, record your video, get enough views. That's television now, and get paid for it.
Well, the best part of that is what she was saying is,
those are good.
Gyms are a public place. There's men and women, sometimes kids, childcare, and the idea that someone wants to then justify and explain why they're dressed that way out in public. Her point was anywhere, not just the gym. Her point was like, don't even waste my time with trying to explain to me why you need to be seen in public without any clothes on. I already know the reason. You don't need to lie to me about your reason. And she said, and the fact that you're needing to post that just shows me who you really are. And this lady on there is a very pretty woman who has a nice stature, who could do the very same thing.
Who's in the fitness industry.
She doesn't need to do it because she already knows she's pretty. She doesn't need a bunch of strangers to tell her she's pretty or that she's hot. And so, I mean, I think the video was good just because it wasn't some dude, how everyone gets with our opinions. Oh, you're this and that. Well, okay, here's a super hot fitness lady who's calling you on your stuff, calling you on your issues. You probably won't like that either, because if you stop doing it, then you'll realize that, oh, crap, I just don't think I'm very pretty, and I need a bunch of weird strangers to tell me so. And the greatest part about strangers telling these women how pretty they are is it's always a bunch of one-tooth weirdos. It's always the dudes that are probably staring at their phone under the covers. These guys. We know what they're doing. And then here's my favorite comment. I'm so proud of you. Proud of what? You don't even know that person. I read comments on these posts sometimes. Oh, you're putting in such hard work. I'm so proud of you. Click on guy's picture. Weird, out of shape, holding a wrench, under the covers. Okay. What are you proud of, bro? You need to get proud of you. You need to get proud of you a little bit and get to the gym. I thought it was a good take on...
It was a good take.
It's always with their tripods or setting their phones down. And I'm going to include the dudes in this too. Look, I am so tired of people being like, oh, be proud of your work and put it on social media. If you were doing it for the right reasons, absolutely nobody would even need to know you were doing it. But you're not. That term, proud of your work, show it to everyone, is actually the reflection of how much confidence you don't have in why you're doing it. And my favorite ones are like, some people are posting about getting drunk all weekend. What's wrong with posting your another justification. Neither things are cool. Getting drunk is stupid. Posting thirst traps and weird pictures, also not cool. It's so dumb.
Well, and in a different realm, when those things happen, I DM some of the guys from our ministry. So the second I see like a weird photo or a selfie, I'm like, so did you break up with your girlfriend? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, you look like an idiot on social media, I could tell. And they just need attention, right? So you're just leaning into your trauma. And social media is kind of a place for trauma bonding all over the place. It keeps people in low IQ and a low emotional IQ. It's sad.
So I cringed it up a little bit last week to try to test this out. It was kind of fun. Again, though, my cringe pick was in an actual shirt.
I thought that picture looked better than his shorts photos.
Well, people hear us about it. Like, if you're in the fitness industry, and you can post, promote your plans, your ideas, your legitimate, educated, experienced advice in a way that isn't like trappy. I'm not talking about that. I see so many people in that industry getting that job done. It's how they get paid, it's how they work. I'm still going to make a little bit of a fun about it. But yeah, I'm jealous. Before you guys start commenting, you're just jealous. Yeah, I am. We're all jealous. I don't have a six-pack. But I do have to laugh a little bit at the super cringe. So last week I tossed one out just to stir the fun. It did exactly what I thought it would do. But I want to go back and say I know some men and women that are in that industry that do it right. If every one of your posts, you aren't wearing any clothes, you're wearing whatever that's not clothes, and it's always going to be picture the phone at about 5 o'clock, and then picture the person with the leg strap on the chest workout thing, and they're having to do the old leg lift from behind. Because you throw that leg back, it's all booties.
Oh, the
booties.
glute lift. I was like, what are we talking about? But yes, I
it's
understand.
the number one,
which makes me like him more.
It's the number one
explanation
cringe.
was terrible.
I do glute lifts because
you could also say straight.
Dude,
it's also women doing straight leg deadlifts.
Will you set your dang phone up next time you're doing a glute lift? I need to promote that.
I will. Here's the deal. I go to the gym.
Chubs.
I go to the gym in like the craziest outfits. Like people come into the gym and they're like all matching. I'm like, yesterday I walked in purple shorts because my wife had bought me.
He went running in Vegas and looked like Biker Fox.
Hey.
Biker Fox.
Well, we can put a bow on this
fine.
pretty
It'll
easily.
be fine.
We can put a bow on this pretty easily. Girls, if you think that's what's going to get it done, you're going to get all kinds of attention from guys that are going to go out with you once and then proceed to call you or text you at approximately 9 o'clock on every couple of weekend nights to see if you're going to be busy in an hour or so.
No, 9 is early, brother.
Well,
it's gonna be.
It's
gonna be like, are you up at midnight?
No, they got to check one of their 52 options.
Yeah, well, we start texting early. We got to start checking out who's going to be available at what time.
At 11:30.
These aren't going to be dudes you're taking home anywhere. And hey, guys, if those are the kind of girls you're going after, that well is empty. That well is completely empty.
Also tell you just like normal standards. So if a gym had standards again, and I'll liken it to this. I went out New Year's 2 years ago in Oklahoma City, and there was two different gun battles, like guys on both sides of the street shooting each other. One of them ended up in a fatality, and I took my wife. We're going out. We're at Mickey Mantle's Steak Restaurant right there, right?
Yep.
Saw the nightclubs.
Bricktown or whatever.
Saw the nightclubs, and I turned around and said, we're going to another part of the city. And she asked me why. I've worked clubs for multiple years, a long time ago. And I said, there's no dress code at two of the clubs. Something bad's going to happen, 100%. And there ended up being two different shootings. Same thing with the gyms. And for guys and girls, if they're not going to make you wear anything, and I went to a gym manager and told him, because there's literally 15, 16-year-old boys upstairs working out with a woman without a bra on in a white T-shirt because she thought she needed attention. And I walked up and asked them if they had any standards at all, where the manager was. He's like, yeah. I was like, go get them. I was like, does she meet the standard? Go get her. I was like, this is pathetic. 15-year-old boys don't need to be in a gym dealing with this. I did think it was funny, because if standards aren't met, we're starting to see it in the streets and different things where people take their emotions and throw them and attack everybody with low emotional IQ and hate, and all of a sudden a man walks up and stops it. I was in Vasa. Great place to be, like at 6 or noon. There's 50 people in there. There's also guys that are just in there to lift. And somebody set up the tripod, one of like the teenage boys, and one of the guys walked through and just kicked the living crud out of it and said, this isn't your home. Pick your crap up and move it out of the weight gear.
Well, I also want to say, like, I go to Crunch Fitness, which is fine. Like, I don't care where I go. I'm just trying to go lift heavy things for 30 minutes and leave. Like,
Crunch hasn't been bad.
I really don't mind. But I'm also, like, in terms of the girls in their whatever, what about the dudes who are wearing the stringers that are, like, barely covering the nips? And I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, who and what? Like, I'm cool with the full tank top. Great, whatever.
You know what that means?
What are we looking at?
Dad's finally at least old enough to judge younger people now because the whole clothing thing's changed. That just means you have a little bit of age on you.
Welcome.
Hey, here's the deal. I walk in a shirt and shorts, and that's it.
That's the new thing, though. Culture wants men to be women. So guys are trying to be pretty and skinny and always have perfect abs instead of being men.
I mean, these dudes are huge, and like they're wearing tank tops that are spaghetti straps, and I'm going, "What are we doing, guys?" Like,
most, not all, but most huge dudes fall hard. Like if they're huge so they look right, that's not a dude. That's just somebody with a ton of insecurity trying to look like a woman.
But I was like, man, come on, guys, put some clothes on. Like, what are we doing here? Like, and then you got the grandpa in there that's like rocking the 1985 shirt and still lifting like freaking 290 on the bench. I'm like, pop off, King. You are a monster. Like, you've been doing this for longer than I've been alive. Probably.
Yeah, there's a couple old men at the one in Broken Arrow that can put up 5. And they've still got, they got back hair, they've got chest, they've got all the stuff.
There's some dudes that were, I'm like, on Saturday, Sunday morning, if I go in there, I'm like, these dudes are absolutely smoking the weights. And I'm like, how? Like, but yeah, they're like in there in their sweatpants.
Yeah, and
they
don't care. They're not perfectly manicured.
Oh, they're like, whatever, bro. Like, I'm here, I'm trying to leave here.
So how much do you think culture's affected all this, right? Because I mean that very sincerely. A bunch of dudes walking around trying to look pretty. That now, the thing that bothers me on Facebook is I turn around and some dude's making duck lips. Like he's trying to look pretty for women. I'm like, dude, just be a dude.
I don't think you know if I could make that.
And the other thing for standards, so I was going back to the gym. Ladies, if you're single and there are attractive men that are texting you or whatever, make them not text you. Make them pick the phone up and make some plans. And if they won't, then they're doing this to 50 other women, and you're going to wonder why you met this great guy and it turned out horrible again, because you just got played by a guy that's figured out the algorithm of however emotionally you feel right then, get you at the right moment, tell you the right thing, because it worked on 30 of the 50 girls. It's like a marketing campaign for just random women, and so don't fall for it. If you set standards around how you'll make a guy communicate, the expectation to pick you up, the expectation of a restaurant, you won't deal with the slackers most of the time.
Well, we'll shift off the girl side of it a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I felt like my opinion on it doesn't really matter.
Did you notice how he wore like full-size jeans to have this conversation today?
He also wore like...
I got a leg brace under it. I didn't want him to show. These pants are just loose enough.
A leg brace.
To go over it. The covering, the compression thing.
He had surgery.
Oh, for the surgery. I was like, what are you wrong?
Dude,
a leg brace on. But yes,
I'm not like the Will Ferrell basketball movie.
He wore sweatpants that would fit Shaquille O'Neal. Like I thought he could jump out of a plane and float down.
He came to the office wearing sweatpants that could have fit Shaquille O'Neal.
For the record,
he could,
and they looked super comfortable.
Those pants are getting worn irregularly.
He could have.
But I was like, you in sweatpants today, my man? And he was like, yeah, bro. Like I just had to.
Like trying to sneak a kid into the airport undetected.
Like with the 3 coats.
Yeah.
Let me look up the name.
I don't trust anything. Like, look around if he leaves. He might have taken it with him.
I will.
They look comfortable, though. But they look like some lounge pants.
Before I shift into the guy side, because I liked the video because as it pertains to us having opinions about what they're wearing and stuff, they don't really care what we're saying. I've heard every justification in the world. But I like to point it more towards the guys. Like, okay, forget it. Our opinion doesn't matter. Now, this lady here, who's super pretty, in shape, having an opinion like that, and being at least moderately conservative about it. Look, we're not saying you gotta... I'm not one of the weirdos. I mean, Kella might get weird on you. I'm okay with a little bit. But a lot of it, guys, too, is in the attitude, the actions, the way you're moving. It's the way you're moving, too.
Are you going to the gym to only look at girls?
Well, but I'm also
Is that the question that needs to be asked?
But, like, when it comes to women, I'm also a protector.
Yeah.
Like, normally, I'm looking in a room. Women,
it's not all about getting mad.
No, and Bryan, you brought up a point. Like, it made me feel uneasy when you talked about it. The amount of people looking at you and watching your videos as a woman that are weirdos and pedos and molesters that are on social media, and now they want to stalk you because you're doing all the things. I don't trust dudes, man. I've been in situations where you can't. I've been in situations where I've ripped men off women in parking lots before, out bouncing. So, ladies, you're not setting yourself up for success. One moment can change your entire life, and there are some predators out there, which means we need to bring back, and that's what I said when we talked about men being pretty, we need men to be men because we can sniff out the guys that are not safe. There's just something off about them.
Yeah, I think, too. I mean, that's why I like this lady's opinion on it. You know, my gear shift will be to, like, the men, how culture is affecting what they're doing, what they're looking at. Before I do that, though, since y'all are making fun of my amazing sweatpants I'm not wearing today, which I'm going to be wearing a lot more of them because they're awesome. They have a pleat in the front. I've been rolling these things to multiple events the last 2 weeks since
I need
the surgery.
I need them to be sent to me.
Well, here's the deal. Fiobach is who sent them with a letter that said, send us videos. We want to promote them, blah, blah, blah. That happens, because of social media stuff. I want to tell you guys there's a 100% chance that I'm not going to film any of these promotional videos for them because I just can't do it because we're going to be making fun of the very guys that do that stuff right now here in a minute. By making fun of, I mean just, talking about it. Because it's the same guys that are putting on lip gloss and doing like
seen that.
10,000. They're all wearing lip gloss, guys. Just like flat. They want to look pretty. They're using filters. They're all like. There's a few of them that aren't.
Weird.
Okay, there's a few of them that aren't.
Men shouldn't be pretty.
But most of them are
Weird.
super hot, pretty looking guys with like. They did 1,000 crunches right before it, and then they're posting videos and they're walking and they're moving their arms around and they're slapping the sleeves and showing you all. It's the cringiest junk in the world. And I get it.
cringy.
Make your money, I guess. Make your money.
About all the new shirts coming out that all the guys are like
It's
trying to sport.
everything that they're promoting, and I get it. It's the world we're living in now. It's just so hard to avoid like giggling at it. Every time I see one of them, it's like someone might as well say penis or something, or just fart. Just fart. I'm giggling at it. I don't understand it. They just look so weird. It's not in any way, shape, or form manly at all. It's like they're trying to mimic hot, pretty women as much as they can to get likes, shares, and attention. And I guess that's the world we're living in now. And I don't know that I have a huge problem with it outside of if we ever get attacked, we're screwed. Because if we're sending these pretty men in there to fight, all of us that are basically retired by age will just have to get an exception. The president will have to sign an exception that all the like 40 to 50-year-old men, that generation, will have to come in and sweep up the mess because these dudes are going to get annihilated.
Just no jumping from anything high. You guys cringe whenever you see like a 20-year-old jump off a 15-foot wall, and the knee surgeries and the back stuff you wake up with at 40. It's funny. We just can't jump. We'll have to go in. There's some videos about that. It's just, and that's what I meant by culture. Is there's been a big cultural swing towards what is being promoted. I don't even know, and that would be interesting. I don't even know how many women actually like that, but I know that that's promoted on social media. And how weird is that that's what runs the world? Whatever they decide to promote is most people's reality that are on social media 24/7. That's a dangerous place to be. I'll throw Disney under the bus because I hate them. But this whole thing around the whole world cares about all this stuff, and then Disney puts out movies that just tank, and you can't hide finances, right? But it's interesting. Social media told a different story. And so what everybody's being told in every lane, right, when we look at the guy-girl thing or all this stuff that we're seeing, it's not necessarily the truth.
Yeah, I agree with that.
For the men,
there's a lot of smoke and
and
mirrors.
by the way,
a lot of smoke and mirrors.
When we say men, you're over 20 because you don't have a brain till like 25 as a kid. But you're over 20.
Scientifically proven.
And it's perfectly acceptable. I've had some kids at the gym do some really dumb things, and I've had to be like, we're not at home. We're stopping doing that. And that should happen. And so I'll give some grace to teenagers because they just how they are.
Oh, dude, yeah. All the grace to the guys. I mean, I've got kids at my house. I got teens coming through all the time. I've got a 17-year-old living at my house. I've got a 21-year-old at my house. We've got an assortment of people coming through. We're always talking about similar subjects about women. Even earlier, Legend came through. Some buddies. He was doing some chores here for me. I noticed something, not on him, not that he was doing, but that someone else likely had done. And I text Legend and I just said, hey, I noticed such and such. I need you to stay legit. He knows what that means. We're paying attention to this stuff, but I'm going to give the younger dudes a pass, not a pass from being taught about what this is about, a pass from tripping over these things. I mean, I don't expect these 20 and 21-year-old dudes to be walking around at the gym and other places and like not notice this stuff. But we need to talk about it. I will say, I want to tell a story real quick about a guy that I know. I'm going to completely make this super anonymous, the whole situation, only because if I didn't, it would be very obvious who this person was. But I knew this guy. He had gone to he'd gone on a trip with some people and with some buddies, and they had noticed these girls were, the swimsuits were small. The swimsuits were small. And they were asked, what do you think about that? And he said, of course I think it looks attractive. I just don't think that I would want my wife to look like that. And what was going on there was good. What he was trying to say is like, of course I'm not going to lie to you. Hot. She's hot. It is what it is. We don't have to get all weird and act like people aren't what they are. But transition to, but I just don't think I would want that to be my wife. It's too much. It's too exposed, too not conservative. And essentially, he was explained to that it's their body and, they can do what they want. Okay, fine. It is your body and you can do what you want. Just don't hit us with all this nonsense later about how everyone's staring at you and objectifying you and saying inappropriate things to you and flirting with you. Miss us with that. You are asking for that. Just write it on your skin. Do not tell us that we don't get to do something you're asking people to do.
I think that, but the bigger picture is in a female, much to your point, spoke out on this. She's like, yeah, I could look that way. I could wear those things. And I didn't get the guy. The guy wanted to have sex with me, but I could never keep a guy.
That's almost every time.
They're still, but that's the reality is you may have attention, but what you probably want in a caring, protective relationship, and that's what that man said, is if I was single, yes, that's attractive, but I'm not going to keep that.
Well,
because that demands the whole world's attention.
Yeah, that's a temporary deal. Yeah. You're just wanting to go to that movie, you want to go to that show, but you don't want to buy it. Man, I'll check that out in a weak moment. And for the men, we talk about what we're talking about with culture, what I would want with men. And again, we're coming to you guys with this subject matter, not from like a place of being the end all be all on every single topic. We're just trying to march through it. Like, where do we meet in the middle? We understand where we live at, the time we're living at. People want to live longer. With the want to live longer comes a industry in the health and beauty side that really accentuates all levels of this. And, I'm not a no on everything. I don't really care, guys, if women get some Botox and whatnot. I don't care about that. I mean, Botox has a million other health benefits than what people are using it for. Should you go nuts to where it's like, wow, did you take all of their Botox? Probably not, because you look dumb. But can you get a moderate amount? Moderate, again, is a word I think we should use in a lot of areas of life, is the moderation piece. A little bit to do this and that. Sure, now I'll hear you on that. Like, it's your face. Kind of do what you want. What I get weird about in this health and beauty industry is like it spreads from our health, longevity. I mean, who doesn't want to live longer? A lot of people do. Who doesn't want to look younger for as long as they can? Lord, everybody does. And when I hear people say they don't care about that, I'm like, maybe you don't, maybe you do. But where we're getting to this piece is when it spreads from our physical appearance to what I would say is like the makeup of our heart. The makeup of what our heart is wanting to do in these moments. Where is it crossing the line to where you're trading your self-respect, your identity for
what you think people want to see.
Or fleeting things.
And I'll put it back deeper. You know what I think's a big problem, Brian? You accidentally just said this a minute ago. I'm going to reframe it a different way. What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, people kind of laugh at this every once in a while. Two things I wanted to be. One was serious, one was a dream. I did want to play Major League Baseball, and had, I had some opportunities as I was getting older. I just never got completely big enough physically to do that. But I always wanted to be a stand-up comedian. I thought it would be a really funny job to do. And I've stayed that way for all these years. I love comedy. A friend of mine, her and I were watching the other night. She hadn't seen The Kings of Comedy. Dude, The Kings of Comedy is just ridiculous good. It's like 2005 or 6. It's Bernie Mac. It's Steve.
Rip Bernie.
Well, you get
Steve
how
Martin.
witty a lot of those jokes
So
are, too.
funny.
Comedians are brilliant, the good ones. Dad, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
Pro soccer player, but also like an astronaut.
Yeah.
So
Astronaut.
like, I thought astronauts. I still think astronauts are so cool. Like, I think space is like wicked cool, and I was never smart enough to pass the science classes to do all those things.
So I
but,
wanted
like,
to be.
Yeah, I want
I
to be
grew
an
up in
astronaut.
Sand
I was like,
Springs,
that's
Oklahoma,
cool.
a small town.
Yeah.
Right? And I saw a lot of firemen, police officers, and they help people. I want to be a fireman, if not a police officer. And I played a lot of baseball. So if that worked out, a professional baseball player.
Yeah.
If we track this back, so my kid is watching all this stuff, and he's thinking about his YouTube channel. And we start talking about what are we doing for others.
Bro.
That's the crisis.
Yes.
Is people, like you ask somebody in the generation below you that, what do you want to be? And they're not anything.
Content creator.
Yeah, they're trying to create content for the world of view. And then you walk over, I'm just going to say it, Brian, because you weren't all out there. You have women that have put so much into their face, they can't move it, and their lips are so big they can't feel them, and then they get butt implants because their butt naturally won't grow that big. And
Right.
so they take stomach fat and put it in their rear end, and you've lost anything about who you are because that's what society says you need to be. Because if I asked you what you wanted to be, you wouldn't be able to tell me. Like, we grew up in an era where it was really cool to think about being the president or an astronaut or a doctor,
Yeah, doctor,
or
lawyer,
a professional baseball, anything
like-
career-wise.
Yeah.
Now everybody, if you asked them, well,
There's so many kids that answer that question. Cade's age, he's what, 12, 13?
And
Something like that. But they're all like YouTuber, like a toy tester. I'm like, nah, like, cool, yeah, there's a lot of good to that. But, like, there's also a lot of, good to being a professional athlete. And whether that professional athlete is being a baseball player or whatever, or if it's being an ultra marathon person like that has a following online, but they got the following because of their athletic abilities, not because of their
when you build a
content.
skill set,
Kind of
right, to have a career or a profession or the physicality to go into certain industries, firemen, police officers, sports athlete, whatever, there's a lot of discipline, teamwork, communication, physical need in those, right?
Yes.
So you've at least built things along the way.
For sure.
So if it doesn't work out, but what we have now, and Brian, you brought it up, if I'm setting up a camera and I've bought the software and I spent 1,000 hours for the right video to look at my right glute to get enough people to watch it to make so much money, right? And then where does it stop? Because that's not anything real. You don't have any value within yourself. You're not actually giving the world anything but lust. And so since I don't do that, when does it jump into OnlyFans? And at what point did I sell my soul? And how did I get stuck? And that's where this crap's going. And, and your heart should hurt for people. I'm not saying if you're in any of those, I'm not coming against you. That's just where society's at. And I would go back to the fact that if we asked them at one point, what did you want to be? Or even the younger ones, what do you want to be? And there's the crisis. We don't have adults pouring into these kids like we used to with real careers.
Well, and I think not to like bag on content creation at all, because I think there's some people out there that totally got into it by mistake. I follow a guy online.
Well, the United States standards are terrible.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's still our
I follow
standards.
a guy online who was a social media manager for like a fishing brand.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of become his own deal because he's just got a magnetic personality, whatever. He loves the Indian buffet. Like, it's like ridiculous stuff, but it's like he now gets to go ask a bunch of crazy famous people, like, would you go to the Indian buffet with me? Like, he took a Savannah Bananas baseball player to the Indian food buffet the other day, and it was like hilarious because like the guy was like, I've never been to an Indian buffet. Like, this is ridiculous. But he kind of got into it very naturally because he was like, I know how to like make stuff for this fishing brand, and like, I can connect with people in that realm, but like I like the Indian buffet too. Like, I feel like that wasn't like a forced into it. It was like he had a couple of videos that went, 300,000 views, and it's like, well, I can make some money off of that.
Well, we talked about it
and he
last
just
week,
it's like normal stuff, but he's like, I'm a fat lead. Like, I'm in shape, but I'm not in shape. Like, if I need to go swim, I can go swim, and I'm not gonna be the slowest in the pool. But like, I'm not trying to like, he blurs out like, even on him, and I'm like, he's just a dude in like some baggy shorts, like, but he does it right. He blurs it out, and if he gets in the water and stuff like that, and I'm like, that's a good vantage point to go in, because I mean, even though he's a dude and it's not like overly attractive, whatever, like, I mean, he's like, you're not seeing this.
It's authentic.
Yeah, it's very authentic. Like,
Well, and then we talked about Dude Dad and a couple of the other things
Yeah.
last week.
I mean, there's tons of like funny ones, like Dude Perfect, that's incredible, like whatever. But it's like
making clean content for
and there's
kids.
so much that's
they have a purpose.
Riffraff. It's just riffraff.
Well, and the riffraff's 30 seconds at a time.
Yeah,
it's a dopamine hit.
It's all small hits.
It's fueled by.
It's fueled by our Amazon culture of like everything's got to be there immediately.
Well, it's also fueled by lust or greed, or I mean, it's fueled by one of the 7 deadly sins. Mm-hmm. And people are eating it up in the United States like crazy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, China, if you go look at their TikTok, they don't allow any of that stuff onto TikTok for their kids to consume. And what that turns into is warfare. We're emotionally unstable. We're dumber. We have less attention span. And the countries around us are building their kids up. Mm-hmm. It's not awesome.
Well, and to just, I mean, talk about other countries building their kids up in terms of like intellectual and stuff like that. Like, we've gotten away from like, let's go play outside in America. And like other countries like fully embrace like, let's go play outside. Like there's a ton of countries in Scandinavia and like, you know, Eastern Europe that they don't even like test kids in school to like 3rd, 4th grade. Like they don't take any tests.
It'd be fun to like.
And it's like crazy because you're like, oh my gosh, like are they not meeting standards? It's like their standards are like be a good human being, like be nice to your friends, like don't be a dick, like stuff like that. And like that's the standard of like, can you like identify stuff, but also can you like be in a human setting where
you're engaging in real life versus the one that's being created for you.
Yeah. So it's cool.
What was your whole take on the guy? You were getting ready to
I was sifting through some of the little comments here and there just to see if there was anything to play with. Really, the comments are as expected. Some good, some like weird, but I think I'll just swing right back into where I was going to go with it. Is for the men, guys, think about the future that you want. Think about the presentation that you want. There is so many people that I know, women and men, but that the women present themselves, they're clearly attractive people. They have great aesthetics, but they have a way of bringing a presence to the room to where you just see them as pretty. They don't have to draw attention to any one thing. Now, I'll also say, I get it, girls. Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you have such a look, you're just going to bring attention to yourself. But that's where I shift to how do you carry yourself? How do you act? How do you move around the room, right?
Yep.
Look, I've seen some 10s. Lord, it's not your fault you were born a 10. And good for the guy. You're hot. But there's a difference between how the conservative, respectable, very pretty girl moves around a room and the girl who is also pretty and has great aesthetics, but just needs everyone to let her know that with their eyes, with their comments, with their attention. And there's just a major difference. So for the men, hey, think about the future on this thing. Think about who you're going to go to places with. Think about who you're going to show up to places with dates on. How she's acting. If she needs that much attention on social media where her following is mostly strangers she's never met, or in places to where she doesn't even know the people, you best bet that when you're together with her, she is still going to need that same attention. Having a committed relationship with you is not going to shut off her need to be looked at. It just doesn't. I know I heard girls say all the time, well, when I'm in a relationship, I don't do this. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because you're always going to do this. Having a relationship with a guy, even if he gives you an appropriate amount of attention, will never shut off your need to get everyone else's attention. That's a thing that's completely connected to something else going on with you other than having a committed boyfriend or a marriage in place.
Well, if you run a need to have attention and you succeed, right? No man is ever going to give you that much attention. Like you've already gotten the measure of attention if that's what you're seeking, right? Let's say it's not good or bad. If I'm seeking attention and I put a picture up and I have 105 guys comment on it immediately and put little flames or whatever next to their comments, right? And I'm in a relationship, I'm not going to get that much attention from that one man because I've already put a measure on it that's impossible for one person to fulfill. So there's an imbalance. But you're also just, that's so surface, because that's not what you actually want from a man. That's just where you've kind of trapped yourself.
Well, and I'll tell you, I mean, guys, as we're talking through this, and you start to think about how you
What do you
want
want in a relationship?
how you want to be seen, how you want her to carry herself. If you have an attractive wife, people are always going to look. That's not what we're talking about. They're always going to look. It is what it is.
Let's think about the mindset of people here. Are they moving from a place of confidence, knowing their worth, knowing who they are, or insecurity?
Well, no,
Are they moving? Are they moving from a place where they came from a steady home with a dad and a father figure who cares about them and who, told them what they were worth every day? Or are they coming from a house where it was like, you're not good enough, you're not good enough.
Well, Thad,
anything.
Unfortunately, you're one of the exceptions to the rule these days. I mean, I'll answer your question right there. I mean, 60 to 70% of them didn't have a dad telling them anything. So it's that simple. I would think too.
That's the data they have to go off of.
It's just
but that's the data you'll have to go off of.
But that's where we're challenging.
Dang.
Like when Brian's just telling the truth about where stuff is, and I'm going, hey, but what do you actually want from a man?
Yeah.
How do you want him to act? And I'll say it this way. Unfortunately, like guys want to compare, and women and the whole equality. Women actually have the power in this. If women set a different standard, men will get in line because men are lost without women.
I had a friend of ours, a girl, simplify this the other day to an analogy because she was talking through this too. Pretty lady, never has a need for attention in the way that's like, I wonder if people are looking. They are. She's pretty. But she said, if I go to a kid's pool party or a family pool party, I'm likely going to bring a one-piece swimsuit, or I'm going to bring one of these tank top swimsuits. Just because.
Yeah, the tankini.
Kids are there. Other people's spouses are there. Swimming is what it is. We wear swimsuits, right? It just is what it is. And I hear people all the time being like, you can't wear that. I'm like, look, no matter what you wear, it's skin tight. Stop. I mean, we're going to see stuff. This is why people's intentions are a part of this too. But her point was, I'm going to wear something that shows my effort in presenting myself in a respectable way, in that I'm not asking for anything more than just to be here and be dressed respectfully and nothing weird. Or if you go to Disney and you're at their pool, stuff like that, right? Yeah. A place where it's mixed company. But then her point was, she goes, if I go on a trip with my partner and we're going to Mexico or we're going to a beach, it's a just us kind of thing, I'm probably going to dress a little bit more, bikini style. We're going to get a little more risque. I'm down with that. I'm okay with that because I'm looking at the intentions. At the end of the day, if we're there, no matter what this girl's wearing, dudes are going to look. So I don't even move on from that. I don't care if guys look. I care how she responds to guys looking. See, if you're pretty, if you're attractive, no matter what they wear, people are looking. So it's all about intentions, responses, and reactions to me. If we're going on a thing where it's just us or whoever, I'm down with that. But if we're going to be in mixed company or kids or something a little more family-oriented, dress appropriately, because I'm all about the fun. And I think what's happened, guys, in a lot of marriages too, by the way, especially in our very traditional landscape, is we haven't been able to figure out, Christian marriages have not been able to figure out how to have fun. We're either too busy messing up everything or we're too busy following so many rules that we don't understand that the wives, as much as you've convinced yourself they don't want to be a little bit silly and crazy sometimes, that's why you're missing. That's why you're losing it.
Yeah,
they do.
They want to have fun and they want to be pretty. I mean, my wife and I deal with this all the time, but I mean,
they want to feel attractive, right, Kellen? They want to be pursued, but hopefully by you, or their husband.
And women are attractive. God made them attractive. That's why I hit up on men so hard. It's like, you're not supposed to be the attractive one, dude. You're supposed to be a protector, a provider. You're supposed to pursue her because she's the attractive thing. Like, and also, no woman wants to compete with a man over pretty. By the way, that's just not how we're made. But when I deal with my wife, and I don't like to talk about it a lot because most people don't have this relationship. They just don't. she'll come out and ask. And I was like, well, babe, that thing looks nice. And she's like, yeah, but it shows. And I was like, it shows your back. You're fine. Like, my wife is very conservative, but we go on some trips or go to a show when I have a cyber summit. She'll fly down to me. We have a blast, and we go out. And yeah, she'll wear some things that are a little not as zipped up as they normally are for her at those places, because her intention is we're out on a date, right? All that to say, and this is what goes without saying, depending on how you present yourself in a nonverbal way and how you move in a nonverbal way, we can always see it too. And so when you're aligned to get attention from a room, not from the person you're with, and that's what you were saying earlier, Bryan, we always know. And that's what gives off a whole different vibe. You're not trying to set yourself up for success in the environment you're in. You're so in lack, in the wrong place for attention from the wrong people because you haven't had it in the right place. And that's okay. It's just realizing that's the vibe you're giving off. But what I know that your heart wants, because I've talked to so many women with all the men's ministry stuff, the ins and outs and stuff, and just asking questions, you want that right guy. And what we're saying on the woman front is, if you put yourself in an intentional way around the parties and the different things to be buttoned up in a certain way, guys will see that. And they're going after you as a long-term deal, not a one-nighter.
Yeah, I think it's so much more about how, you said it a while ago, women have the control in this. And I think some of them know that, but a lot of them don't really know that. Men will really march to the beat of their drum. We don't always show that we are, but in the end, we really are waiting to see how they're responding. I mean, think of every example of texting a woman, complimenting her, asking her out. Every single part of this design is like set up for us to sit and wait on what the result's going to be from them. It's no different than how they're going to appear in front of us physically. It's all about them controlling how we're going to kind of respond and react to what they're presenting to us, right? And then we're essentially going to see, okay, what works? What's going to get her? What's going to get this girl interested in me, or what's going to get her to kind of engage with me on whatever it is that we're trying to do. And I think for men, when it just really still boils down to it, look, you can make this so much easier. Who do you want to be seen with? Who do you want to be seen with? Because if you're with that one girl, probably other dudes are going to go, I've had her already. I swear at the gym, guys, I swear. I've got a couple of guys I talked in the locker room, and they'll talk about this girl or that girl. And in my mind, I'm always like, yeah, you and everybody else. You and everybody else.
Well, and those are the guys you'll attract. For a young kid who does this really well from a guy's side, like we talk about how a guy's supposed to be, Aiden, stepson, he's an incredibly athletic, attractive young man at like 20-something, and he is clueless about it. And just a good-hearted kid, and he's not trying to dress. What I mean about that is Aiden is somebody that could put himself together and worry about how pretty he was in the mirror and then go out. That's a different kid now. He's just going to be aloof and get in a relationship, and it's going to be a lot better than him trying to compete with her. That, to me, is so weird for a dude. Aiden's just a guy.
Well, and I think Aiden is very comfortable in his own skin, too. And I think sometimes as dudes, like, people just aren't comfortable in who they are. But like, Aiden's very like, this is who I am. Like, I'm this way if the lights are on, if the lights are off, I don't care. Like, this is who I am. And I love Aiden. I mean, Aiden sat at my desk for a year with me every single day. And like, yeah, he's just like, this is who I am.
That's how it's
like.
Hey, let me give you the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm out at an OU game, young kid,
Yeah.
great looking, and I don't mean it in a weird way. I'm really glad I'm not a great looking kid, And so this is another attractive person. He came up and broke down and said, these girls throw themselves at me, and I drink, and I can't help myself. And he said, now I'm addicted, and I don't know how to get out. And so he's just running through women, and he doesn't want it, but he's trapped because he's put on this insecure thing and the need for attention. Now he's got the attention, does the wrong thing with it, and he doesn't know who he is or how to be. And so it ends up being the same problem in crisis for him that it is for the girls, and they're finding each other, right? And that's that's not going to be successful on either front. Still don't agree with Aiden's shorts. That's just the new trend of everybody wears shorts that are like soccer shorts now.
Aiden loves a good 3-inch inseam. Loves it.
Listen,
just
boys,
that- well,
we
that's-
got to
but-
limit this
but-
deal to 5. We gotta. I do 5.
I do 5.
That's the
I do
style
5.
now.
Every day 5. Like I don't go longer, but yeah, 5 is for me. But Aiden loves a good 3-inch inseam. He's like, let's make it happen. Let's show off the tats.
Brian's got some shorts, right? And we're over. We watched a ball game, and Brian's like, "Hey, let's hit the pool." And I had to borrow some shorts. And my wife said later, she's like, because all mine are like what we used to wear. They touch my
Probably
knee.
they're
Just wear
probably
board
5.
shorts.
It's probably 5 to
Pair of
7
pants.
inch,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, they're 7-inch shorts or whatever. And she's like, "Hey, the ones that are like at your thigh, so I can see like the bottom of your thigh muscle, like you actually have shit." I was like, "Okay." So, but I still like the new style for the teenage kids is like up there.
No, dude, we gotta get him on some of those free ballers that we like. The ones with
Chevys
the.
or free
Yeah, as long
ballers,
as you call it a different word, yeah.
Well, that's
the
literally
name-
that's the
that's the
brand.
brand name.
That's the brand name. It's called Free Ballers, but they got a liner
then
in
the
them.
other one
Like
is
you don't have to
Chevy
wear
stuff.
nothing. They're nice and like you can wear. I mean, they have a million prints and like a million whatever, but they're like the best. And they're 5-6 inch shorts. Your wife would love them. They go with polos. They go with t-shirts.
Hey.
They're awesome shorts.
Hey,
like
is-
I got Bryan on them, and he probably has 8 pairs now.
As long as my jeans touch my shoes. 'Cause Brian went up to prison with us that one time, showing his ankles, and like some of the guys were winking at
Some
him.
of them boys are like,
Well, now that it's summertime, I'm definitely gonna break out a few more of my tight
No.
pants.
Hey,
but
Tiff, what are those called that women can wear? Where they're like 3/4 pants? Capris. Yeah, Brian has capri jeans, and it's just.
it's great.
They work on you until you get
They're
to
gonna be
prison.
as tight as they can be, too, boys.
this,
Just seeing the outline of stuff.
no.
The calves, that. Don't be so weird about it.
Oh, you said the outline and stuff and just looked away and just waited for me to react. Just waited.
I just think he likes your reaction.
Oh, he loves it. He loves
Well,
the reaction.
I think
We
the deeper meaning here, though, right, is we're all adults, and we end up in a lot of social groups. And let's just say this. Let's bring it home this way. Brian, how many unhappy people do you know where relationships just keep falling apart for them?
Well, guys, that one's so simple too. I mean, what we're talking about here is no one here is saying they don't like pretty girls or hot girls. I mean, we're not dumb.
We
We're
don't
not-
say that
we're
women
not
don't like
weird.
attractive men.
And yeah, that women don't like attractive men. We're really more talking about not
We're
your
over 6'1", I heard, by the way.
Huh?
That's like the thing for girls.
Yeah.
The height thing.
Look, we've disproven that time after time, but we're not going to get into those percentages and statistics.
I think Brian
But
ordered shoes the next day that were like 2 inches taller.
oh, the Alexanders, I'll roll those. It
They
doesn't
just
matter.
got some platforms on them.
Just walking in. Look, I'll tell you this right now.
butt implant
I'm
for
not
boys.
afraid of that. I'm not afraid of her at 5'12" or 13 or whatever it is.
12.
So
Or 6
But the
foot
heart
tall.
of the
I mean, how
issue
we
is
measure
this.
things.
we're not
You don't have to do
hammering.
math to own an insurance company at all.
We're not hammering on 10s, okay? If you're a 10, you're a 10. A guy or girl. And I know 10s on both sides that I have extremely good relationships with that are just good people. The genetics are just on point.
They there.
And I'm happy for them. We're not talking about that because a lot of times some of that part you can't even control. So like girls who are getting weird about this, look, dude, you're hot.
Here's
Great.
the we're not hammering on 10s. We're hammering on how. No, it's not even hammering on that. It's we're talking about protect the treasure that you have.
The
if you're
heart-
a 10, protect it.
Well, we
Show,
can
yeah,
see.
show the world you're actually valuable.
Show the world what they need to see. To
Well, when
attract
we're
them
out
to
there
you.
looking,
Not what they want to see.
the right people on both sides of the issue will see the physical first. But
Always.
if they're doing the right,
Always.
if they're doing it the right way, thinking about long-term things, thinking about what's going to have the best propensity to work, they're looking on through their attraction, which is fine and it's necessary, to the heart position, right? We need to see what the heart looks like. If the heart is showing like goodness and showing the need to, pursue purity, no one's going to be completely pure. Pursue trying to do it the right way. then the aesthetics are going to be what they are. It's really how they're moving around the room, how they move around in their life, how they present themselves. Because again, I don't want to get into the semantics of which tank top sports bra combo is acceptable, because that's what the weirdos will do. It's no different than talking to, if you ever guys ever been out on the streets or whatever and you meet someone who says they just don't believe in God or whatever, that conversation's never freaking over. It's never over. They are designed to argue until you die. In that conversation, simply with, hey, we don't agree on this, but here's what I do agree on. You. I love you no matter what. I'm here for you no matter what. If you want to discuss anything specific, I'm happy to do that. But most people in that position are looking to argue you to death, which is not the game. These people are going to do the same. I don't want to argue which outfit. What I want to argue on is, or not even really argue, I want to present the idea that, hey, if you walk in the gym and maybe you're wearing something maybe a little bit on the edge, but you're moving respectfully, your responses and reactions have nothing to do with this. Maybe your clothes were all dirty. Lord, I'm not going to judge you over this thing. I'm talking about people that have to make this their pattern, make this their day-to-day, make this their every post, make this their every single interaction, is just begging the world, complete strangers who don't know them at all, for attention. That's what I'm talking about.
It becomes your worth if you're not careful.
That's all you care about. So girls or gym people, look, I'm not hammering down on, I know some girls that sometimes, Lord, dude, some of these people, I know a girl once, she'll be in sweatpants, in a sweatshirt some days. Sometimes this girl will roll in the tank top bra thing with the little shorts. She's not looking for attention. She's got no makeup on, hair's everywhere. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. Do I like that outfit on that day? You know, we're going to get more looks.
You do.
But I know this person well enough by the way they present themselves. This isn't about them trying to get attention. It was a day they were rushing out. They're right in the middle on this issue. They're kind of modern day, so they're like, yeah, I don't really care what I wear. I can get down with those people. I've started to focus way more on the actual heart and intention of the people doing this thing. Men too. Dudes, if you're over there in the mirror, shirt off, in your wife's shorts, making live videos for TikTok, you're gay.
Well,
period. That's it.
The shirt off thing too. I don't mean it in a weird way. We had a guy do that at Vasa, and not now. I mean, not in my 40s. I could probably still outlift him, but back in the day at his age, if you're going to do that, lift some weight. You better be able to move over 400 pounds on a bench press if you think you're something.
Well, I ain't never moving over 400 pounds right
but I mean,
now.
The person doing it, right?
Yeah.
To Brian's point, these 20-year-old kids that've got some chemical in them that can't move 100-pound dumbbells like they're weightless, which you should be able to at that size. And
hey, baby, I'm moving 105 yesterday.
They got their shirt off everywhere. It's just not a manly thing.
You better be strangling a dadgum dragon in this TikTok video, or you're gay. And that's fine. That's fine. I don't care. Gay, not gay, don't care. But tell your wife you're gay. Because if you're up there TikToking shirtless with goose lips or duck lips or whatever, G-A-Y.
It's just weird.
Tell your wife, get into counseling, and figure this thing out. Or bring a black bear, strangle him to death in your TikTok, and I'll go, hey, we're good here. That's manly as can be. So I'm fine with all of it as long as the heart position is right. Anything else on this, Thad?
No, just wear clothes to the gym. Just wear normal clothes. Like, it's cool to wear normal clothes.
In general.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Also, like, wear clothes in general. Like,
well, and don't be a victim of culture. Everybody's competing, right?
and I understand, like, there are situations where, like, less clothes is better. And I'm gonna say this as a runner who runs when it's freaking hot outside. There are times when less clothes is better. But you know what I've found? That I prefer to running the tank top over the no shirt. And I love running no shirt because I'm like, this is so great. But like, the tank top catches the sweat, which makes me cool.
Well,
which in turn makes me cooler.
And it's
whatever.
Just, hey,
it don't matter.
Bryan
Wear
brought
clothes.
up really well. It's appropriate. Like, so here's the difference that Bryan was making. I can see a guy on a hot day in shorts running with a shirt off, I won't think 2 seconds about it.
Yeah.
If you go into the gym on the treadmill and take your shirt off and
Correct.
start running, that's what's happening.
Appropriate outfits for appropriate
you can wear
places.
whatever if you're going to go run 10 miles on the concrete.
Yeah. And the thing is, the girls that run in the sports bra, do what you want to do outside. If they outside, it is no different than them being at the pool in their bikini top. It is no different.
Yeah, I got no problem. You know, when you're going running, and you're going running for distance.
If you're doing that in the gym, if they're like walking in, pulling the shirt off, there's the issue. If they're outside doing it outside when it's 80 degrees, do what you need to do.
I still think
Make it
it'll.
happen.
I will say when you came back in on Vegas streets, you look like you worked harder than me.
I
was in an air-conditioned gym, killed it.
I mean,
Brian
Kellen
did like 87 circuits next to me. He was going.
I still
we got back
think.
upstairs, and I was like, you look exhausted.
I still think really this comes down to, you know, heart issues, the way you want to present yourself. It really becomes right there, right on the screen for us, what you're trying to do. I mean, even we're talking about the runner, right?
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind. I'm like you, Thad. If the girl's going out, she's a runner. I know some, and this is what they do daily. They're going to be wearing tight shorts. They're going to be wearing a sports bra because you're trying to run for distance. You're trying to run for time. You don't want your clothes weighing you down, being all soggy and wet and weird. Totally get it, and I'm totally fine with it. But then take a lady who's maybe a little more endowed in certain areas, just wearing a basic little thing, knowing 100% there's no support, there's no athletic support there at all.
Yeah.
You're being weird, and we know you're being weird because they make stuff for that.
I'm just trying to preface, like, I'm the runner here. I understand what we're doing with the gym and whatever, but, like, yeah, if you're outside running, doing it, and you're in the sports bra and in the shorts, whatever, it's no different than being at the pool in the bikini.
I was praying over a couple girls last
because
night.
that's, like, great.
Same. I agree.
You're making it happen.
So I was praying over a couple girls last night at the Forrest Frank concert. I had my daughter.
How was that, by the way?
It was incredible.
So fun.
Yeah,
It looked so fun.
I mean, he straight up said, like, I don't even want to do this. God said the harvest is plenty. Get out and do some work. And he's like, it's not my goal to, like, entertain, but he had a song about prayer and said, if you need prayer, stick out your hand. He said, if you don't have your hand sticked out, go put your hand on somebody. And I could feel, like, when we pray for people, there's two, like, 15, 16-year-old girls next to us just crushed. And I could feel the weight of both of them make up just different things, like trying to compete with the world. And, you know, I know religion can be a hard thing. We're very clear that we love Jesus, but Scripture is very clear that your identity as a daughter or a son come from God, not the world, and you have more value. And the value is not the skin. You have more value than all that he created. And, you know, that's what's hard is even if, just when you put something on, ask why you did. Because if it didn't start out as a heart issue, if you start trying to compete with the world, it's going to end up as a heart issue.
Well, these people that are a little bit older, you know, 35 and up doing this nonsense, I'm going to kind of shift gears off of them. They've made up their mind where they're lacking, and hopefully someone can help them with that. I'll shift down to the younger person and be like, you know, girls too, hey, when you see these women doing this and you're seeing this on social media and you think that's what's what, just know it's not.
It's not.
Look,
and it's not fulfilling.
well, look at the logistics of this thing. Look at the facts. That girl's single. That girl's single. She's 30-something, 40-something. She's still doing that for a reason, my friend. She's still doing that because good, high-value men aren't perfect. They're going to look. They might even, you know, give it a little bit of time. But they are absolutely, usually never going to make that a permanent thing because no high-value, respectable man wants a girl out flaunting herself everywhere for attention all the time. A good, high-value man is going to have an attractive woman who knows she's attractive, doesn't need a bunch of strangers telling her so, and doesn't miss any attention. These girls that are really pretty but still walk, act, and move in a conservative, respectable, sexy, pretty way still get all the dadgum attention. They get all the attention the other girls get. They just get actual, real, authentic attention. The thirst trappers, that attention they're getting, it's not real. It's not authentic. It's fleeting. It's fake, and it's temporary, and it goes nowhere.
And I've not all the time, but I've been around this, and it can really hurt you, is if your identity is in all that beauty, right, and external validation. For women, is, so if somebody's listening, because I know you'll get some comments from women, think about it like this, because I've met women that do this. I have some gym friends, and that is their life. And they talk about chicken and salt on chicken and rice. And a woman is so turned off by never being able to talk to him about anything else but what he's going to eat to stay lean. They can't stand life.
Oh, my
There's nothing
gosh.
else the guy wants to talk about.
Hey.
And so you're limited in, like, what are you guys going to talk about?
Man,
like, have
this
some
is-
depth to you.
This is hilarious because I saw somebody.
Is it a protein reel?
No, it was
We
somebody.
should make some protein.
They we should make protein reels. That'd be hilarious. But this guy, like, it was like a double date, whatever, husband and wife. This guy, huge arms, like only could see him probably from here up, chest up, which
Probably a bodybuilder.
which was fine. But they're at a restaurant, and he goes, "Here's what I need you to tell the chef to make. I need you to tell him to make me 10 to 12 ounces of grilled chicken. Tell him that I'm allergic to butter. I'm allergic to oils. I'm allergic to everything. And then I also need 6 to 8 ounces of rice measured out. Tell him I'm allergic to oil. Tell him I'm allergic to butter again." And the wife's going, "What are we doing here? This is a date. You can have a cheat meal." Like,
He's going to get on stage.
and he was like,
Nerds.
he was like,
These freaking nerds.
Hey, we could do the same thing
Whatever.
with a shaker bottle.
I'll tell you right
Drink a
now. Oh,
little protein shake
shaker
before you go to
bottles.
the-
Oh, give me every shaker bottle. This is where it comes. Like, and I'm willing right now. You know where I'm going to be later. If you're a shaker bottle and you want to get down about me making fun of shaker bottles, let's do it. I will go down anytime and fight, or we'll wrestle it out right there over a shaker bottle anytime. I'm not afraid of a shaker bottle, because one thing I know about shaker bottles is you are PUSS-wise, period. But I want to get back to...
not if you have a shaker bottle. This is a
If
generalized
you
type
walk
for Bryan.
around the gym,
This is a
with
generalized
your
type
shaker
for Bryan.
bottle, you're
This is
getting
not
choked.
just.
You're
This is
getting
not just like,
choked.
hey, taking a
if-
drink,
Bye.
whatever.
Listen.
Bye to you.
If
You're
the
getting choked.
Hey, if the carb bowl and the BCAAs aren't in every 20 minutes, you're just done. The lift's no good.
Well, I will tell you guys, and this is what's unfortunate about this, because really at the end of the day, we really do care and love all people as much as we possibly can, because we know that people operate in these ways, just like we make mistakes. I do. It's coming from a place of gap, a place of loss, trauma, misconception. It's all connected to something. And so this weird dress costume conversation is connected to something. It's not like, oh, these people are so horrible and bad. That's not what we're trying to say. In fact, the person who sent me that very reel was Jody. And she said, her comment was, "I think this would be a good topic." She goes, because Jody's one of the most loud and demonstrative people I know, personality-wise. Love her, but you know what I mean? She's not quiet.
She's going to call it exactly
Jody
what it
is going to say
She's-
it exactly how it
she's
is.
gonna
You don't
call-
have to think about what she's saying.
100
She's
times.
going to call balls and strikes.
There's no filter, and it's straight to the
and
point.
I would say, too, as
love you.
important as all that, Jody's approach and her demeanor about certain subjects is going to be a little more liberal. And that's why this is confirmation and makes sense that if someone with Jody's demeanor, her personality, her pretty wide open scape, and that's what makes Jody, it's fun and cool, and it's an attractive personality for her. But this right here, when she makes an opinion that I actually agree with this is getting out of hand, you know there's something to that, because generally someone with Jody's makeup and the way that she would approach these situations is, whatever, people can wear whatever they want. But for some reason, that video actually tied into something in her that thought, man, this is connected to something not as good. I think there's something to that when, one, the video is a nice-looking, attractive woman having this opinion. Number two, the person that sends this is also an attractive, pretty woman who understands that, wow, how do we... even sometimes Jody gets a little wild and crazy and has fun with it and wouldn't be always considered the most modest person in the world. But when she can actually sit down for a second and go, but, man, this is leading somewhere that it's taking us somewhere that's not great.
Yeah, she's modest in humor, though, through what she's gone through. What I will say, when you talk about people that consistently show up in life, because I've known this person for years, it's got to be, we talked about this the other day. We have a couple people who know. Jody's dressed up really nice and gone out with easy and not been risque at all. And then she's also like we're watching the fight, so she comes with her husband and has jeans and a big shirt on. Like we know a couple people that can't go to breakfast or on a Saturday at 10 with a bunch of people in pajamas without being on their best. They'll never show up anywhere without an hour worth of work to leave.
Well, as we're having this conversation, I can think right now of 3 situations of people that would fit the criteria of what we're kind of talking about with the gym cringe. All 3 in the last 6 months have been wrapped up, engaged with, caught with someone else's husband or someone else's engaged partner. So back to my point, young ladies.
It's feeding the need for attention.
Back to my point, young ladies. That's not what you want. There's a reason why they're posting it up still at the age that they're at, trying to get strangers' attention. They're pretty already. What they don't realize, not necessary. I see girls that don't do anything near that, gives just as much attention, but the difference is, it's the kind of attention. See, a high-value man, or even just a freaking guy that really doesn't even understand value yet, he's going to see the hot one that's being weird, and there's one side of him is going to want that, the flesh. But then he's going to see the other one just as pretty, but moving in a more in a way that it's more respectable, and it's having a very high opinion of herself. Because, see, this girl over here is also seeking out people, and a lot of these women are being told, hey, you're made this way, be unapologetically yourself, and all this stuff. All they're trying to say is, hey, I'm really hurt and traumatized too, and this is going to get you attention. But this one over here is going to say, what I've learned is that I'm not going to give everyone full access to me.
Yeah, the right guys, like if you put yourself together well, because we can, Bryan, what you're saying is guys can read it. And safe guys will pursue women that put themselves together right, and then unsafe guys that present themselves as safe will be predators to women that are insecure.
Yeah, we gotta hang it up, but I kind of want to just end it with saying, young people, find someone that doesn't just look how you want to look when you get older. Find someone that maybe is also moving around a little bit how you want to see your life. Women, find a lady that is acting in a way to where there's something.
Man, we got to talk about safe people soon.
There's something about the way that older person, that mentor style person is moving, and get with them and learn from them and find out things from them that will help you kind of start to find some direction in your life. If you see a lady that's thirst trapping everybody and then trying to justify the reasons why they're doing it because they're just being themselves, don't do that, because that's where you'll end up.
Yeah.
That's where you'll end up. It's the same thing. Men, there's no reason. I mean, that's the same reason, guys, why when we start to talk about mentorships, do you guys ever go pursue the guy that maybe he's attractive, but he got no money, got no security, got no job, got no career, got no direction, but he's good looking? Not me. When I was looking, and still when I look for mentorships, I'm looking for security. I'm looking for consistency. I'm looking for, when I talk about mentorships, right?
I knew about the genes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're talking about mentorships.
Mentorships.
I was bringing some clarity to what you're talking about.
Yeah, not physically like that. But you know what? I'm looking for someone that has something that I might want to pursue as it becomes their career, the way they move around, the way they treat people, the way they're treated, the way people treat them. See, the way you get treated by people is the sum of your influence. People don't understand influence. You can look at influence by the amount of people that are attracted to a person in some certain way. It's part of the algorithm. Look for that kind of stuff. I mean, that's why when I say if you're looking at that, just that one girl doing that, and you think that because she's hot and got 1,000 likes to her thirst traps, find out where she lives, what she has, what she's doing, where she's going. If you find out it's all brokenness, temporary stuff, going nowhere, and all she's got is the hottie toddy 10 with 1,000 likes on it, and she's making $31 from Facebook posting traps,
I think on the guy side of the thing, too, we can talk about this. I run into it a lot. There's some really good guys out there, and they get in a relationship, and the woman ends up picking another guy, and they can't figure out why. And it's nothing, and especially because you see this all the time, too. Guys will say out loud, well, he's not as attractive as me or strong, whatever that thing is, right?
Yeah.
But he knows where he's going. He has a plan. He's decisive. Women have to feel some security because you're responsible for that as a man. So when they're ready to settle down, there's things that men are responsible for, and there's a lot of great guys that don't have those pieces together. That's another reason you've got to get with a bunch of guys that are heading the direction you want to, that are in front of you, because they can help you out with those things. And back to it, Thad, you said it. A lot of this stuff. Listen, we're stating where culture's at and how things can hurt you. But a lot of you didn't have these resources growing up, but they are out there if you pursue them.
Well, we got to tie it down. We've reached our time limit today.
You want to say the whole little spiel where you change voices?
Pay-per-view is going to shut us off. We want to tell you guys.
Pay-per-view. Dang, I didn't realize we were on that.
It's the same. It's the same guy.
Celsius made
Colin's got his.
Celsius is front of. Hey, look! Today we've done our job today. I missed one though, so we're recapping. Celsius is awesome, only orange. Thank you, Feilbach, for the amazing sweatpants with a pleat in front that I can wear to church, school, or anywhere that I want. Also, I want to tell you guys,
covers everything,
if you have
including sleep
any interest whatsoever in checking out what your testosterone numbers are and getting an actual feedback review on that. There's so much misconception on that. If you're interested in weight loss or peptides, we will post a link in our notes as well as my social media posts that will lead you to a full review, an opportunity to check out what that looks like through our company Telegenics. Local based company, everything you need there as it pertains to those subjects. If you want to keep checking us out, you're going to have to get on iTunes, Spotify, or iHeartRadio to listen to us. Also, these days, you can check out the video of us if you want to see my ankles or Kellen's beard in person. iTunes now is going to be posting the video as well as we're on YouTube. We really appreciate the comments and feedback that we get from you guys. We need your reviews. If you go to the top of the production in any of those streaming platforms, you click the buttons. You can give us a review, but you can also hit share. You can share the link to your social media so that other people can enjoy us as much as you guys do. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the podcast platform or even one of the episodes, it'll give you the opportunity to give us 5 stars. I think last time I checked, you can only give us 5 stars. Nothing else will work. So give us 5 stars. We appreciate it. Any comment?
Just gaslighting people in the 5-star. Straight gaslighting.
Any topic that you'd like to kick around, just send us the DMs. Keep texting. Keep making posts on the comments. We certainly appreciate it. And that's all we got. If someone wants to say a short prayer as we go.
Yeah, Father, we just thank you, Lord, and all this is just so socially relevant. We have to look forward to it. And our hearts ache. Some kind of a culture. They look up and they value themselves. They just state and you show somebody. So for anybody lacking, I hope this is just not for you. But as they ask themselves the right question and draw close to you, and no longer want attention from other people about it. They would get some freedom with that. And if nothing else, just to be honest about it. And you have so much to go for them. Their work value and their purpose. Their purpose was built for this. So I pray for that. Lord, I also pray for this team. Lord, this just, we brought up some separation. They're just in our hearts. Lord, you know where they're at. All these actions, all the things that happen to us, and a lot of things that also affect our lives. So we minister to everybody. I just thank you for those things right now. Praise in Jesus' name.
Amen.
And don't forget,
Get canceled.
Get canceled. Or